What's up, trainers? Welcome back to PokePlayLab_DBSHQ, the place to be for high-level Pokemon TCG strategy and game-breaking deck tech. Today we're jumping into a brand new master deck built around Salamence X and Blaziken X. These two hit like a freight train and set up pressure at every stage of the game. You get devastating tempo swings, disruptive play options, and a closing power that keeps opponents sweating from turn 1 to the final prize card. Perfect for climbing online and dominating your locals. If you're a creator too, drop your channel link below so I can swing by, hang out, and support what you're building. This community thrives when we lift each other up. Make sure you check out the community page for polls and updates, plus the announcements playlist for raffles, giveaways, and event news. Everything is popping off there lately. If you want to support the channel directly, there's a Cash App link on our YouTube page. Every bit goes toward leveling up the content for all of you amazing trainers. Time to hit the field and let Salamence X and Blaziken X bring the heat. Stay sharp, stay awesome, and keep playing. We're starting things off with 4 copies of Bagon. This basic dragon-type Pokemon comes in at 70 HP and rocks 2 solid attacks. Bite costs just 1 colorless and puts out a quick 10 damage. Sometimes that tiny chip is exactly what keeps tempo in your favor. Then you've got Reckless Charge for a fire and water energy, swinging for 50 damage. You take 10 damage in return, sure, but for a basic that's just trying to get us closer to Salamence X, that trade is totally worth it. Bagon might look humble, though it's the essential first step in evolving into the absolute monster that will carry us through this deck. It also has no weakness, no resistance, and a retreat cost of 2 colorless. Next up we're running 2 copies of Shelgon, evolving straight from our Bagon. Shelgon brings 100 HP, and it's a dragon-type Pokemon. Its first attack, Guard Press, costs 2 colorless energy and deals 30 damage. The real value is the effect. During your opponent's next turn, Shelgon takes 30 less damage from attacks after weakness and resistance. That gives us a little breathing room while we prepare for the big evolution. The second attack is Heavy Impact. 1 fire, 1 water, and 1 colorless energy for a clean 80 damage. Solid mid-game pressure that forces your opponent to respect the board. No weakness, no resistance, and a retreat cost of 2 colorless means Shelgon holds the line well enough while you get ready to bring out the star of the show. Shelgon is basically our bodyguard. It stalls, it tanks, and it keeps us alive until Salamence X swoops in to finish the job. Now here's where things get wild. We're running 3 copies of Salamence X, the evolution of Shelgon, and this beast clocks in at a massive 320 HP. A dragon-type Pokemon. The first attack is Wide Blast. 1 fire and 2 colorless energy lets you deal 50 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. No weakness or resistance for the bench. This is how we soften everything up at once. We force damage all over the board, then when a target is looking nice and fragile, we bring it active spot with boss's orders and clean up. Because the real monster move is Dragon Impact. 1 fire, 1 water, and 2 colorless for 300 damage. You do have to discard 2 energy afterward, though that's a price we are happy to pay when we're deleting threats from existence. Meanwhile we just go right back to spreading damage with Wide Blast until we're ready to slam another Dragon Impact. Just like Shelgon, Salamence X has no weakness, no resistance, and a 2 colorless retreat cost, which keeps things nice and manageable. This is the star of the deck. Huge damage, board pressure everywhere, and the kind of finishing power that makes opponents sweat the second they see Salamence X hit the field. Next up we've got 4 copies of Torchic, a basic fire-type Pokemon with 60 HP and keeps things simple with 1 attack, Scratch. 1 fire and 1 colorless energy for 30 damage. Nothing flashy, though Torchic isn't here to show off. It's here to evolve. Torchic is the first crucial step on the path to Blaziken X, so we just need it to survive long enough to grow wings and start throwing haymakers. It does have a water weakness ×2 and a retreat cost of 1 colorless, so keep an eye on matchups. Get it evolved fast before someone dumps a bucket of water on our fire starter. Then we step things up with 3 copies of Combusken, evolving straight from Torchic. Combusken brings 90 HP and 1 straightforward attack, Slash. 1 fire and 1 colorless energy for a solid 50 damage keeps the pressure rolling while we prepare for the real star of the line. Same as Torchic, Combusken has a water weakness ×2 and a retreat cost of 2 colorless, so timing your evolution into Blaziken X is key. Keep the heat on and don't let this stage stick around longer than it has to. Now for the fire starter that makes this whole strategy explode. We're running 4 copies of Blaziken X, evolving from Combusken. This powerhouse sits at 320 HP, is pure fire-type Pokemon, and packs both an ability and a heavy-hitting attack. The ability is Seething Spirit. Once during your turn, you can attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokémon. This is the magic that fuels our tag team plan. Since Salamence X often discards energy when swinging with Dragon Impact, Blaziken X sits safely on the bench and keeps feeding those energies right back where they need to be. Then you still get your normal manual attachment for turn, which means Salamence X can recharge fast and fire off Dragon Impact again like nothing happened. That's one of the core combos that makes this duo terrifying. The attack, Smolder Assault, costs 1 fire and 1 colorless for a clean 200 damage. There's a drawback where Blaziken X can't attack during your next turn, although that usually lines up perfectly with prepping Salamence X to come in and deliver another knockout punch. Someone always has the heat ready. Blaziken X comes with a water weakness ×2 and a retreat cost of 2 colorless, which is totally manageable with the pressure it applies and the energy acceleration it provides. This is the engine that keeps our Dragon Wrecking Crew online. When Salamence X is breathing down the opponent's neck every single turn, they run out of answers fast. Next we've got 3 copies of Heatmor, a basic fire-type Pokémon with a solid 120 HP and 2 attacks. The first attack, Licking Catch, costs just 1 fire energy and lets you search your deck for up to 3 cards in any combination of fire-type Pokémon and basic fire energy. Reveal them, toss them into your hand, and shuffle up your deck. That kind of consistency is huge. Heatmor is tanky enough to usually survive 2 hits, which gives you the time you need to fire this attack off at least once and set up your board perfectly. The choices depend on your situation. If you already have Torchic ready, you might snag Combusken, Blaziken X, and a fire energy. If you're already stacked with energy in hand, then go with 3 Pokémon instead. Licking Catch basically says, look at your hand, identify your game plan, and grab the exact tools to execute it. Heatmor's second attack, Fire Claw, costs 2 fire energy and swings for 60 damage. Nothing fancy, although it keeps Heatmor from being a sitting duck once its job is done. It comes with a water weakness ×2 and a 2 colorless retreat cost. Heatmor, it's the behind-the-scenes MVP that keeps your evolutions flowing in your board ready to explode. Now we move on to our support cards. Next up, we've got 3 copies of Boss's Orders. This card lets you switch in one of your opponent's benched Pokémon into the active spot, which can be a total game changer. The key here is timing. Only play Boss's Orders when you know you can knock out the Pokémon right away. Whether it's to finish off a damaged threat or pick off a weaker target for a quick prize card, it's all about setting up that decisive play. That's why I run 3 copies. It can turn the game in your favor instantly. Use it wisely. Next, we have 2 copies of Bill's Transfer. This card lets you look at the top 8 cards of your deck, then reveal and add any number of Pokémon you find there to your hand. The rest get shuffled back into your deck. Bill's Transfer is what I'd call a high-risk, high-reward supporter. Sometimes, you might hit a dry spell and find no Pokémon at all, but more often than not, you'll pull 2 or 3 solid Pokémon to boost your setup. So while it's not always consistent when it hits, it definitely helps smooth out your game. Next, we're running 1 copy of Rourke. This supporter card lets you draw 2 cards, then grab a basic energy from your discard pile and add it to your hand. It's a solid card for hand control and energy recovery, giving you just what you need to keep your strategy going, especially in longer matches where energy can get tight. Next up, we're running 4 copies of Arven. When you play this card, you can search your deck for 1 item card and 1 Pokémon tool card. Reveal them, and add them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This is super helpful for grabbing key cards like Rare Candy or Buddy Buddy Poffin to set up your board faster. And for Pokémon tools we are not running any. Arven gives you consistency and flexibility, helping you grab exactly what you need, when you need it. Next up, we're running 2 copies of Crispin. This card is awesome for setting up your energy. When you play Crispin, you search your deck for 2 basic energy cards with different types, reveal them, then add 1 to your hand and attach the other to any of your Pokémon. After that, you shuffle your deck. In this build, that usually means grabbing 1 fire energy and 1 water energy. I like to keep 1 ready in my hand for later and send the other straight onto the field wherever I need it. Crispin gives you both hand advantage and board acceleration at the same time. That flexibility lets you power up your attackers faster and stay ahead each turn. Now we move to our item cards next. We're running 3 copies of Buddy Buddy Poffin. This item lets you search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokémon with 70 HP or less and put them directly onto your bench. Then you shuffle your deck. This card is super useful because in 1 turn, you can grab both Bagon, 70 HP, and Torchic, 60 HP. Setting up your key evolution lines fast. It also helps thin your deck, giving you better odds of drawing into trainers, energy, or evolutions later on. Next, we have 3 copy of Night Stretcher. This item lets you put either a Pokémon or a basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand. It's a super flexible recovery card, whether you need to get back a key Pokémon for your strategy or grab a basic energy to set up your next attack. Night Stretcher gives you that utility when you need it most. Next, we're running 2 copies of Nest Ball. This item lets you search your deck for any basic Pokémon and place it straight onto your bench, then you just shuffle your deck. Nest Ball is clutch early on for setting up your board. It helps you grab key Pokémon like Bagon, Torchic, or Heatmor so you can start building your evolution lines right away. Having 2 copies in the deck keeps it consistent, so you can find your setup pieces quickly without wasting turns digging for basics. Next, we're running 4 copies of Rare Candy. This card lets you skip the Stage 1 evolution and go straight from a basic Pokémon to its Stage 2 form, as long as you have that Stage 2 card in hand. Just a quick reminder of the rules. You can't use Rare Candy on your first turn and you can't use it on a basic Pokémon that just entered play this turn. I'm running 4 copies to really speed up my evolutions, especially for Salamence X and Blaziken X. Even though I do play their Stage 1 forms, having Rare Candy ready lets me get those big Stage 2 powerhouses out faster and take control early in the match. Plus, don't sleep on the synergy with Arven. He can search out an item card, which means he can grab Rare Candy exactly when you need it to evolve and start swinging. Next, we're running 1 copies of Super Rod. This item lets you shuffle up to 3 cards from your discard pile back into your deck in any combination of Pokémon and basic energy. While you can definitely mix it up, like bringing back 1 Pokémon and 2 energy, I usually use it to recycle 3 energy cards. That way, we keep our energy count strong and make sure we've always got resources ready to fuel our attackers in the late game. Next, we have 1 copy of Prime Catcher. This powerful card lets you switch one of your opponent's benched Pokémon into the active spot, and if you do, you also have to switch your active Pokémon with one from your bench. This is perfect for pulling up a weaker opponent for an easy knockout. Just remember, you'll have to switch too. Now let's move on to the energy lineup. I'm running 7 Fire Energy and 5 Water Energy. This balance keeps the deck consistent. Fire Energy fuels Blaziken X and Heatmor, while the Water Energy supports Salamence X and its heavy-hitting Dragon Impact attack. It's a simple but effective mix that keeps our main attackers powered up and ready to go. Alright trainers, that's gonna do it for today's Master Deck build featuring Salamence X and Blaziken X. This duo brings non-stop pressure and pure chaos to the field, perfect for anyone who loves big plays and bigger knockouts. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, drop a comment to let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe for more Master Deck builds and gameplay breakdowns. Until next time, stay sharp, stay awesome, and as always, keep playing.